is up, folks? Just a little message before we get into today's video. There is a simultaneous upload at the same time as this one goes live on my second channel, where I should be opening up some UFC trading card packs for you guys, as well as giving a bit more of a relaxed kind of overview of the fights and everything. So if you guys just want to hear a bit more about the fights and watch some, more casual contents and card pack openings, or you're interested in UFC cards, whatever it might be, then please do join me over on my second channel, where we shall be doing all of that. But yeah, let's get straight into the video. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going today? I hope you are having a good one, and we are back with another review. This time it is of UFC 279. I've got some notes in front of me here that we are going to go through. Hopefully it won't take too long, but before that, I want to do a quick shout out to Napoleon Blown Apart. A lot of you guys probably already know him, but he has a awesome channel, and he did a quick little live stream last night where he sort of covered the prelims of the card. It was a lot of fun, and so yeah, I thought I would just throw you guys towards that channel because he definitely deserves even more subscribers than he already has got. Legendary guy. Anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? So first off, we have got the Walker fight. Johnny Walker, my lord, what an impressive performance from Johnny Walker. That was a great sub. He is definitely improving his BJJ. So his work at SBG, or SBG Island, is it? Yeah, with John Kavanagh. Definitely beginning to pay off by the looks of it. Not much to be said about that fight, really. Kind of had one exchange, then Cutelaba went straight for a takedown, and that spelt the end for Cutelaba. But great performance from Walker, as short as it was. I really am looking forward to seeing what is next from Johnny. But if we go straight into the next one, now, this is something we do have a bit to talk about, because not only was the fight itself incredibly impressive, a lot of back and forth. Chiasson looked really good at parts, but then Aldana also looked good. She started to take over more and more as the fight went on. Chiasson seemed to not gas out, but she definitely seemed to slow down a little somewhat in that third round. And then, my lord, that finish. As soon as I saw it, it got me thinking about the finish from Holland versus Jacare back a couple of years ago, when Holland knocked out Jacare Souza from bottom. It just immediately reminded me of it. It's such an unorthodox way to finish an opponent. You just don't expect it. To pull off a heel kick to the liver whilst your opponent is leaning back because they're expecting it to come to the face, it's an awesome thing. And I fully expect to see every gym come Monday morning in every country full of students attempting to heel kick people in the liver. So it's going to be very interesting to see if we see that move more often from here on in, because, yeah, very, very impressive. Then we move on to the fight with D-Rod and Li Jingliang. Now, this fight was not as I expected, to be honest. I thought we would see a little bit more activity, a little bit more sort of showcasing of the devastation that Li Jingliang is capable of. But Li Jingliang seemed to actually struggle quite a bit with the frame of D-Rod and the jab of D-Rod. The snap jab of D-Rod was so fast and so accurate. It really seemed to stifle Li Jingliang and stop the Leech from being able to set up those looping punches that he loves to throw. Those big, large lefts and rights where he hooks them round from his hip almost. They're great to watch, and if they land, they do a lot of power. But if a guy can get in there with a fast enough jab to shut that stuff down, then the Leech kind of struggles a little bit, as we've now seen. Anyway, let's go on to the next one. We have Khamzat versus Holland. What is there to be said about this? I mean, it was a typical Khamzat performance, complete shutout. He took 0 strikes. That's his third fight in the UFC with taking 0 strikes, if not 4th. I'm hearing conflicting reports on that. Some people are saying it's his 3rd, some people are saying it's 4th. I haven't looked into it yet, but incredible performance. Outside of the performance, I am not impressed. I am not impressed in the slightest, and I do not enjoy seeing so many people online give him the caveat and give him the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, I like him again now because he's had a decent post-fight interview with the media. Well, he didn't have a decent post-fight speech, people. He proceeded in the post-fight speech to get the entire arena booing him because he threatened the audience with murder and said, I'm real Chechnyan gangster, I can kill all of you. Well, yeah, that's not how you should do your post-fight speech, friend, especially after you didn't make weight. From all intents and purposes, it seems to me like you didn't even attempt to make weight. We all saw his reaction when he didn't make weight on the scales. He just smiled, laughed it off, and moved on. He's not treating it professionally as a sport. Yeah, he's definitely not treating the sport with the respect that it deserves, and that is the thing that makes me truly, truly, truly uninterested in anything we have to see from Khamzat in the future. On to the main event, though. Now is where we give some respect. Diaz and Ferguson. What is there to be said? I mean, Nate Diaz, he gets his fairy tale ending, folks. He literally gets his fairy tale ending, which I am just so stoked about. I'm so happy, so glad to see that happen. It's a shame that it had to be on the back of Tony Ferguson, but at the same time, it's also not, because that's a legendary fight that was years in the making. You know, we should have seen Diaz versus Ferguson 5 or 6 years ago. It's a crime that it's took this long to make it happen, and it's a crime that it took this sort of circumstance to make the UFC see what a good matchup this was and to make it finally happen. But nevertheless, we got what we all wanted, and arguably, we probably got the outcome that we all wanted. I'm sure there's a heavy percentage of you that would have arguably preferred to see Tony Ferguson win, and I walked into it expecting Tony Ferguson to win, so I was very much leaning towards that camp. But I wasn't upset when I saw Diaz win, because you guys all know me. I'm a huge Stockton fan, huge fan of the Diaz brothers, and so it was no shame to watch that go down the way it went down. I do think if he didn't go for that takedown, he could have won that fight on the scorecards. I think it was arguably going into 2 rounds each on that 4th round, and it was going to go into the 5th and be a deciding 5th and final round. And I think Tony, if he'd have kept it on the feet and kept attacking the legs, could arguably have took it. So it's a shame. But when you look at it from the other side, Nate Diaz gets to walk away with his fairy tale ending. He gets the creme de la creme of endings, really, and then he gets to go out into free agency, test the waters, do whatever the heck he wants to do, and then come straight back to the UFC, because Dana is definitely not going to tell that boy no. Just no way. And I think that's pretty much everything covered. One thing I do have to say is that Tony Ferguson deserves all the respect in the world, not just for this fight, but for everything he's done over the past 2 to 2.5 years, maybe 3 now. He's not getting the credit he deserves for it. Tony Ferguson literally brought back sports during the pandemic, and people don't credit him for it. And it's a travesty. All the respect in the world goes to Tony Ferguson for that, and for everything else he's done in his career. So I just felt that had to be said. But with that being said, that's about it, guys. So I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll try to edit it down and make it as short as absolutely possible. But yeah, other than that, I shall see you guys in the next one. Ta-ta.